Hello and welcome to State Scoop TV. I'm Jake Williams. We are here with Rich Kliethermes. He is the acting CIO for the state of Missouri. Rich, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So Rich, we are at the NASCIO Midyear Conference, Day 2, 2017, Crystal City, Virginia. What are your main priorities and focuses for the year ahead, and how have they changed since the last time we talked?
Yeah, I think they've changed a little bit. The first hasn't changed, and that's application modernization. We talked about it last time too, but a lot of heavyweights that we're pushing across the finish line, working to push across the finish line just real quickly. Medicaid eligibility, which a lot of states are doing as well, finished since we talked last. Unemployment insurance for our Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. So that went live in November. Now we're at the stages of it's in place, working on our maintenance and operation support for that. Completing this summer a modernization for under the Department of Economic Development, Division of Workforce Division, labor exchange system as well. So excited about that. Continued efforts on the Department of Corrections and our offender management system, and the list goes on. So that's something that we're ever present as far as looking at needed changes, needed modernizations, and our teams work every day on those efforts.
That's great. And so when we talk about a big project like the ones that you just mentioned, tell me about your enterprise visioning process. How do you plan on and execute some of these big projects?
Obviously, it's a partnership with the agency, and as we all know, and everybody knows in the industry, it's got to be a partnership. I heard the quote yesterday. Partnership and performance. So making sure that the agency is ready to catch it, making sure we're ready to actually catch it from the parameters that we have as well, and then just understanding the full the full scale of what this does to our operations and our staffing from that perspective.
Got it. And so, Rich, at conferences like these, we use a lot of buzzwords. We talk about all kinds of things. What's the biggest buzzword that you find yourself getting tired of, and how are you channeling the ideas it represents into action?
Yeah, I think that it's not that I'm tired of. I think it's really, what does innovation mean? That was a question last year, right? You hear innovation across the board. And I think that from a state perspective, obviously, when you look at the scale of really the technology landscape across the country. You talk about artificial intelligence, you hear Watson, you hear all these other things. One can feel like we're not innovating enough from a state perspective, but I look at that, and what I emphasize to my teams is that innovation come in many forms and factors, and taking a look at currently what we're doing, partnering with our agencies as far as improvement of process. It could be taking a new idea, making sure our teams feel like they're empowered to bring forth new ideas from the most junior staff that we have, and it happens. Kids that we're fortunate to come work for us, and we're so excited when they come in with these new ideas, and we let them go with that. And we've seen that in some mobile development. We've seen that in a cloud perspective on some small projects that we're doing that. So it's really I'm not tired of innovation, because that's a piece of my job, and it should be. But the grand scheme of what that can mean.
Yeah, I hear that. And you talked earlier about some of the projects that you're doing and how you're working with other agencies to do that. Tell me a little bit more about that collaboration. How are you working to collaborate outside the boundaries of your agency, and what are some of the challenges that have come along with that?
Yeah, I think that just the demand exceeding the capacity from an agency side as well as from the IT side is something that's a challenge across our state, and it's going to be a continued challenge. I mean, that's what we're in the business for, of technology, and the world is moving so fast, and making sure that our constituents and our citizens, that we have them in mind at the very beginning of the process. But obviously it does take communication, and it takes reaching out, and it takes, even in difficult situations, pulling teams together. You can hear about something happening over here. You can hear about an issue that's happening over here. You have to involve yourself in that. And my teams, internally as well as within divisions and departments, communication. I mean, it's a dumb moment, right?
Yeah.
But it has to happen, and you can be amazed at something that has drug on for an extended amount of time, or something that just seems to swirl, that when you get the right people in the room,
Right.
you can get resolution very quickly.
That makes a lot of sense. And so, last question here, emerging technology. We hear a lot about emerging technology. How is emerging technology changing the way that your state solves problems and delivers services?
Yeah, I think that, and I know I kind of shortchanged the prioritization, just talking about the modernization efforts, but yeah, obviously when you talk about data, and I heard a great quote yesterday, I'm going to use it again, is that, and I think that was David Bean from Michigan, we don't talk specifically about systems anymore, we talk about the data. And so, the various technologies that can be deployed that can share that, whether it be with agencies or bringing from a citizen or from a state customer standpoint, bringing their information together that's disparate, even in their own department that they're dealing with, or multiple departments. That changes their interaction with government, and it should. Other areas that we look at, the cloud, of course, and from the agility standpoint, from the operational standpoint, that's a game changer. And I think obviously we're going to continue to look at that. What does that mean from our ability to provide services more efficiently, quicker, giving our teams the ability to react faster, as well as gain skill sets that they didn't have before, but it enhances their job.
Sure. Well, look forward to hearing about that more. Rich, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Jake.
Again, we're here with Rich Kliethermes. He's the acting CIO for the state of Missouri. I'm Jake Williams, Manager of Strategic Initiatives for State Scoop. Thanks for watching.